Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is January the 20th, 2023, and we're here tonight working the elephant project. We're on week 3, which is 73 through 84 of the parts. So before I even talk about anything, I'd like to welcome Susan to my channel tonight. Susan, thank you. Tonight, she's going to be reading chat for me as I'm working through the project. And some of the parts are already up on the wall behind me, and I'll review all of that with you. But I'm going to slip into the chat really quick and welcome everyone. And then I'll go over a few cleanup details that I need to hit. So let me get into the chat. It's not going up all the way for me. So if I haven't welcomed you, I'm sorry. Let me see here. I want to make sure I welcome my moderator, Dahlia. Thank you, sweetheart, for being here tonight and moderating on that side of the house alongside of Joe. Let me see, Mona. Hello, sweetheart, and welcome. Sewing Sensations. As you can see, she's here. We're ready to kick off this game of the elephant. KDD Crafts. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Dahlia is talking to everybody, and I greatly appreciate that. And I'm slipping down through. Sandra K, hello, sweetie, and welcome tonight. I didn't know the elephant was a racer game. It is addicting. FPP is so addicting. I don't go the way that Sandra K's chose to go in hers. I believe, if I understand what rumor mill is, and you know what that is, she's going in different orders than what I am. So you can follow whoever you'd like, or you can follow the directions in the pattern. I'm choosing to do it the way that Chalker and I've laid it out. That way it comes together, and we're going to build all 5 sections, and then we're going to join it all into one. So that's just the difference. So if you like to follow along on either side of the house, you've got Sandra K over at Kathy's. So you can join her there and watch along. Her colors are, bam, they are beautiful. And I love the way that hers is coming together. She's put so much hard work and dedication into that. And you got to slip over there sometime and give it a look-see as well. So let me see. Hit the like button, folks. Hi, everyone. I'll be listening while I'm long arming. Thank you, Janine. KDD, the elephants are really progressing. They are wonderful. I love to see all of the different fabrics, all the different takes on it. I've got people posting their pictures in my Facebook group. I do have a Facebook group, and it's called Handmade by Ying. Let's share. So if anytime along the way you'd like to share any of your pictures of any project that you're doing, please feel free to go ahead and join that group. I love to see what everybody's working on. And that way, it's our way of sharing. I'm not going to be able to bring it over onto my YouTube as Becca does hers. I just don't have that mindset on how to do that. But I might get Joe to set all of that up at some point down the road, where we'll be able to slip the pictures in like she does.
It's easy.
But for right now, he's saying it's easy. So maybe as we progress with the elephant, we'll have it set up and ready to go. Julie Quilts, looking peachy, babe. I just love you. Dahlia, yes, I'm enjoying it. And so is my friend. She is loving watching it come together after all of these years of owning the pattern. I hope she's working it alongside of you. It's always funner to sew with friends.
Yes, it is.
Dorlin Dale, hello from Colorado Springs. Girl, I miss you. Pam Reynolds, good evening. Donna, what is the next FPP that you'll be doing after the elephant? I wanted to do the elephant, but didn't get all of my ducks in a row. We've had to shift things just a little bit. As you know, my cohort in my FPP at this time is Tucker, and he's asked that we move the one project back, and then we're going to move this one up. So the next one we're going to start, so you can rush out and buy it, because it's going to be a fun sew as well. It's going to be the tiger. Look at all the intricate details in the work in this baby. This is not background fabric that you're going to be buying. There's a lot of twists and turns along the way that's going to make all of these designs. Now, how cool is that? I'll be dropping that into the description box below for those that do want to have this one, or I might take a minute this evening, or Susan doesn't have my links for this. So I'll have to slip out and I'll drop it for those that want to join in on this. This is going to be fun. And I'll have Susan show her progress. And while she's doing that in a couple of minutes, I'll go ahead and get my link and get that dropped. Susan can copy and paste it and she can drop it throughout the evening. But this one will kick off on March the 10th. As soon as the elephant's done, while everybody's out doing their quilting or whatever they're going to be doing with theirs, we'll be working behind the scenes. And I'll give you that date on when we're going to do a little Zoom per se, and come in and go ahead and start laying our pieces out, getting them copied, whatever we're going to need for this project. And I'm sorry about the shift, but Tucker really wanted to hit this one, and he's been so kind and generous to slip on with me for anything that I'm asking. The least we can do is the giraffe will push back to the next one, and we're going to do this one first. So for anybody asking, that's the why in all of it. So let me get back up here to where that was. My chat just jumped in. I'm sorry. I have to get back up to where that was. Okay, ducks in a row. PM, it's not too late. No, anybody can jump onto the elephant. We're only on week 3. So there's always plenty of time, and you can sew this at your own pace. What we're doing here is just sewing it in a breakdown method that's going to be easier for everyone. And you know how the old saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. So it's one part at a time. We've broke ours up as Violet Craft has it marked out on here. There's section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've earmarked which weeks that we're doing what part. We don't have the flexibility to sit down for 8, 10, 12 hours a day and sew it. But what we can do is spend an hour or two every Friday night and demonstrate the sections that we're on, what we're seeing, if there's any issues. And it's always funner to sew with friends. So what we'll do is as the trunk, we did the trunk, we set it aside. We did the feet, we set it aside because the feet is going to be the last part of this as it comes together. But we wanted to give you the warm up into the FPP if you haven't done it. That is the why there, why we did the feet first. Well, second, the trunk was giving you that flip and fold. So you were getting familiarized with how you had to turn your papers and things. People's asked me why we broke it down the way we did, and that's the why. Week 3, these 2 sections here, this is coming together really easy, and we save those because they're not really hard, but there's a Y seam in here, and we're going to review that tonight. And then we're going to be coming up to the ear section, and as you can see, there is a lot of background. So by the time we get to the ears, you've only got this little bit right here, and that's something we'll be able to do on a live. So basically, we've got about 5 weeks left of this, because what we'll do is if you're behind, and that's okay, just work at your own pace. If you need extra help, I'm a phone call away or a message away. Tucker is the same way. Susan, now that she's already got those pieces under her belt, you can also reach out to her as well. Sandra K, you can reach out to her. I'm sure that now that she's done the FPP, if it's a piece that she knows already, I'm sure she would be gracious enough to say, hey, I can help you with that as well. Patty G's over there with her, and they're working it. And I'm so proud of them. It's coming together, darling. And this is going to be the end result, just in so many different fashions. It's going to be neat to see what everybody comes up with for themselves. So let me see. It's never too late. My mouse, I need it. I'm pretty sure it is the giraffe, but Donna should answer this. We were going to do the giraffe, Julie, but we needed to flip the giraffe for the tiger. Tucker asked that we move this one first and then do the giraffe. He would like to get this one before he starts some of his travel. So he helps me. So we're going to do this one first. And I'm sorry for any shift, but there's going to be plenty of time for us to be able to do it. I'm not sure as well. So Terry, hello, sweetheart, and welcome. Teresa Louise, hi, doll baby. She is also one of my moderators. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask her as well. I'm just jumping down through. There's the ladies talking. Janine's telling Joe hi, and she's giving him a little heart. We all love Joe. He's my sidekick and my best friend. June Billings, hello. Brenda Foley, I got to reboot. Okay, sweetheart. Linda Denton, hi everyone from Kentucky. I'm just skimming the chats, and then once I get caught up, Sewing Queen 22, hello Donna and everyone. S. Taylor, hi, at Donna in the chats. Welcoming everyone. I'm just skimming, and then I'm going to pass this over. Our treasured home, hello. Melina, hello, and welcome. Yo, Patty G. I just love that woman. Good evening, sweetheart. And I think I am caught up. Sherry Fisher, yay, I made it to this. Absolutely. So I'm going to pass this over to Susan for just a couple of minutes. I'm going to shut off the mouse, then Joe will have full control of the chat as well. I'm going to slip into my cell phone and I'll drop the link, and I will pin that link for the tiger in the chat, so you will all be able to have it while Susan is showing hers. And then I'll do a little show and tell on mine. So take your time for a minute, Susan, and go ahead and show them.
Here is my cute little elephant feet. No, I should have turned on my Zoom so I could see what I'm showing you. Here's my little elephant feet.
That is beautiful. I just love it.
You ever see an elephant with gray and purple feet?
It's just too cute.
My husband said he'll take my word for it because he don't see elephant feet. I said you will when I put it together. And here my elephant trunk.
Is that not gorgeous?
Cute, cute, cute. And this is why they kept saying, don't take your papers off. Because I took my papers off. They're on the feet, but I take them off of the trunk. Because I didn't read the directions till afterwards. See, they're on the feet.
Oh,
Yes.
Delia doesn't have a channel. You're going to want to not drop one for her.
There. Hey, oops. But it's coming right along.
All right. And what you're able to see on mine is, this is the feet. I'm not going to pull it off of the wall, but I've got two, they're stony gray, and it's called mushroom here on these corners. And then I've got my gray. I did not change the gray out in the center because I wanted to just blend really well. I didn't color my toenails, but now when I quilt mine, you're going to see the why I didn't. Then I have the trunk, and right now we're working on this section here and where the tusk is. For my tusk, I use two different shadings. I have my bone white, and then I've got the snow. So I wanted it to look like it's been haggard, just a little bit like it's been roughed up in the woods. I wanted it to have that little rough look. So that's just part of what we're working on tonight. And then I'll show you, we are not going to be piecing it in. This will just be the week 3 of the finished section. Next week, we'll be working over here, and then we'll start up at the top. In the end, we will all come together. We can do it on a live, and anybody that has issues, will take them separate over to a Zoom and show you how to marry all the parts so it'll come together. For those that have the pattern and they don't understand, it'll be really easy because there's numbers inside of this, and these numbers are going to guide you along the way as to what parts go where as you're building it. So if you don't have that, reach out to me and I'd love to send it to you. But each part, they're broke down, as you can see. I'm going to just use this part as an example. This is just the way you're going to lay them out. But over here is the order that you will build. Whoops, I'm trying to get my finger to go. This is the order that you're going to build those pieces so everything lines up. So if there's any questions along the way, feel free to let me know and we'll answer those. So with all of that being said, that's where we're at right now. So if you're sewing along tonight, thank you. It's always fun to sew with friends. One thing that I do when I'm cutting some of my patterns and my pieces along the way is I go ahead and pre-cut an estimated amount. There's no real reason. It just saves me time digging them out of the bag. So I pulled from the cut pieces and I just pinned them. I already pretty well know the colors of my pattern. So that way, as I'm starting with A, B, C, D, and it's important to go in that order. So make sure that when you do it, you're building it out in that order of the alphabet, A, and so on. Then when you're joining the elephant parts together, you have to follow the numbers to get everything to come into place. Then when we're joining the big sections, you have got to leave this paper on because this is going to give you your landing zones as to where you're building and joining all of those parts. So I hope that gives you enough information and doesn't over inundate anyone, but that's the why and the way we're laying it out. So like I said, we're on week 3 at this time, and I'm going to get sewing. So Susan, feel free to take over the chat. And I appreciate it, honey.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I've got some of it built out, as you can see over here. And now I'm up to number 80. So my color for number 80 is zinc. So I'm just gonna pull these pins. That way I have my colors out of the way of where I'm going to be sewing.
Anybody have any questions? Nope.
No question, Jen? Feel free, I'm here. So it's important each time you're doing these patterns that you're writing on your pattern piece the color that you've chosen down your color chart. It makes it come together really easy for you. And then some people do the freezer paper method. Some of the parts on this, I have done the freezer paper and some I have not, strictly because I wanted to show it in both ways. So I'm going to slide my mat, and now I've got my part A, and I'm going to fold it back here. And I'm leaving my parts attached because they're not going to be in my way. And I'm going to go ahead and trim off this little piece here because I don't need it right now. And I'm going to leave this open here for my shiitake color for my E. My next piece that I'm going to be joining is my charcoal, and that's my B. So I'm going to fold this back, and I want to trim that in.
So Mona, all your pieces are done up to tonight? Yippee skippy.
That's fabulous, babe. I'm glad you're done. You'll have to post pictures for us.
And Julie said she too busy sewing. Yeah, that's great, Mona.
Absolutely. I've got too many other projects, so I'm doing it little bits at a time.
Yep, I hear that. Yes, very good, Mona.
So the next color is the chalk. It's called chalkboard. So I'm following my color palette, and I'm going from A, which is my grizzly, and B is my chalkboard. So I'm coming down the side, and I'm going to look for that color code. Even though I have a pin, before I ever lay my next color, I always want to make sure that I've got it in and that it's going to cover that section. So now that I know it's going to cover it, I'm going to lay it here in no special order. I just want these two lines to lay flat as can be, because when this unfolds, I want to make sure this whole section is covered. Sliding it under. And you make sure your stitch length is as low as you're comfortable sewing. I do a 1.2 on mine. And that's what I am most comfortable with. If I have to use jack, I'm not really happy about it.
What do I
But
need to do?
and then I just finger press it and then I press it in. Those that are using the freezer paper, it will adhere and stick. So you want to make sure that you kind of press it down just a little bit before you move on. So I've got A in and I've got B in. So now I'm going to flip over here and this is my C. So I'm going to fold back here and I've already pre-folded my paper. And that helps you get that straight line that you're looking for.
Can
This
you,
is waist.
can you bring the camera down, Donna, so that they can see what you're
Probably.
doing?
Joe, can you move my camera down here?
Delia asked. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Delia. And no, I'm not sewing tonight. Linda, sorry. Something
Thank
up
you.
here. Yeah, Sherry Fisher said, nice, Mona, and still working on hers. Laugh
Thanks.
out loud.
So right here is where you, when you're FPP and you trim off all of your excess before you build your next piece on. My next piece is charcoal. So it's going to lay face up because you want your fabrics to kind of be like touching their bellies. So I line these up to where my cut edge is, as close as I can get it. Then I lay it over, and before I ever sew this one on, I'm going to kind of like do the imaginary fold back, and I want to make sure it's going to cover exactly where I need it to, and it is.
Oh.
Because like I said, I've pre-cut a couple pieces, and I just want to make sure. So I'm lining it up, and I'm just going to sew straight down the line, slow and steady.
Oh, Patty G said, I have half my element done. I did do section 38 to 52 and didn't have any Y seams.
That's good for you, honey. You'll see, you will see it in there.
Yeah, the reason
There's
I'm not
only one.
the reason I'm not sewing tonight is so somebody got to keep an eye on the chat for Donna. So I'm good with that.
So then now all you do is flip it over. And now I did A, B, C, and now I'm going to flip back. The next color is going to be zinc. And then you're just going to trim this off here as well. And move your little scraps over out of your way. And I have my zinc here. And I want to make sure that I have my wrinkles out as well. So I'm going to give it just a little bit of a flat iron. And this is going to face up. And I'm just going to slide it in as well. It looks like there's going to be a lot of waste, but there really isn't, because there's small pieces along the way that we're going to be adding these little tidbits of scraps in. So don't be afraid to overcut when you do, it's okay. Those parts will be used up.
Yeah, and
Just-
in the long run, it'll actually save you fabric. Ask me how I know.
Just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, in the very beginning when I was learning FPP, I was trying to be really skimpy along the way. And I wasted more by trying to fold or manipulate, and it didn't work right.
Right. Wind up wasting that and then another piece.
Yep. So now my next color, I'm going to join the E to the A. And I like to get all of my wrinkles out before I join it, because it's just what I do. And I'm going to lay it face up. But before I join that, I want to make sure I have this little tidbit trimmed off here, because I don't want it tied up in the pattern.
the only difference I would say in the add a quarter, Delia, is that especially when you're sewing, when you fold your pieces and you're wanting to in there and you're wanting to trim off your fabric, that add a quarter comes in real handy.
Yep,
But even
a regular
Isla
ruler.
Crafts, she used a regular ruler on the edge of the fabric.
Yep.
So,
You do what's comfortable for you.
right.
Now, as you can see, this looks kind of funny laying here because part of it's going another direction than what I'm going to be sewing. But when this folds open, you're going to see the Y in it. And you just slide it under. Before you ever sew your first stitch, make sure nothing's shifted. And you just sew it in.
Yeah, and up here, Trace Louise said, I'm trying to get caught up with my box of the month and I'll start my elephant next week.
Sounds good to me, babe. I'm
Mhm.
glad you're doing it with us.
Yeah, me too.
So now I've got all this flopping around. So I'm going to lay it flat and take this little section here and we're just going to iron it in. And then we're going to trim it down. And all these little tidbits, I can assure you, will be ate up in this pattern. So I'm not worried about those little pieces that's hanging off that we're going to trim out. So just use your regular ruler or your add a quarter. I use the add a quarter. That's the way I was shown. So that's just my personal preference. You do what works for you.
Yeah, and she's got a pretty pink one too.
Pretty in pink.
I got a yellow one. I'm just lucky I got one.
Yep. You just love to aggravate me for it.
I know. I got a yellow short one and a long one.
And then all you do is line it up here as well. And press down because you don't want it to slip. And then where I've got this little corner, you don't want to come too sharp in here because you're going to need that when you're marrying these parts together. You don't think you will right now, but trust me on it, you will. That little bit of paper is not going to bother me because at the end of the night, all of that will be trimmed out and done away with. So now I've got it laid flat here as well. And I'm going to slide it in, make sure I'm lined up and get this final piece off. What's left over in the fabric, I will drop back into their bags because they'll be used, like I said, in the rest of the pattern.
Yep.
But look how nice that turned out. Everything's there. It's all lined up and it's going to blend in with this ever so well. I am going to go ahead and give it one final pressing. You don't have to, but I'm just going to stick it here on the board for just a minute while I'm sewing the rest of this up, and then we'll join those pieces. But that way it's over and out of my way. So the next pieces I've already got tagged and marked as well. So I have my shiitake already pinned down. I'm just going to fold it back because it's a big piece and this will come in handy on a future piece. And I'm going to just trim it off. And I'm going to slide this out of the way. Now I've got this large piece of zinc. You have to watch how you're laying it because when it unfolds, you're going to want it to fold the correct way.
Yes, it is, Brenda. She said, I agree. Getting over that conservative mindset of not wasting fabric is the hardest thing to learn.
It is.
For sure.
It took me a little bit to get there as well. So trust me.
Yeah.
So there's different angles that you can lay this. You can lay it like this and hope for the best.
Right.
I've seen people do this just to make sure that they've got it. And all well and true, you could, I guess. But what I actually need to do is turn it funny looking. And before I ever pin it in, I'm going to put this in here at an angle. If I went straight this way, it's not going to work. So I need to seriously watch what I'm doing. And I'm going to take the pin that I have here and I'm going to move it up close to this line because I'm going to test it and see the angle that I have it to make sure that it's going to work where I need it to. So if I sew it here, as I can see, it's going to be short down here, so I still have to move it. So you just have to fool with this piece when you get those long sections to find out the best way that it's going to work for you.
Jeannie Lipsky says, hi, Donna.
Hi, babe. How are you?
And Cindy Wall says hello to everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Others are saying hi to her, to them.
So it's just a matter of finding out the correct angle. And it'll take a minute or two.
Yep.
So it's easier to just keep fooling with it.
Yeah, I'm glad you told me about putting that pen in A.
It's the easiest way to do it. I'm trying to get it. So
Yeah,
the waist.
yes, Terry, mine is basically gray because in my mind I see a gray elephant, but I had to put purple in there because that's my favorite color. Yeah.
No.
Wow, that is wonderful, Sherry. She did this will be her third one, the second at 40%.
I think that's fabulous.
And
I
then
loved it.
and one she did at 75% for her granddaughter and the normal grays for her.
No way.
She said, love me some elephants.
I do. I think they're beautiful. It's a fun sew. And you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, I think that's all you got to do if you have a printer or take it somewhere where you can just have those pieces reduced down.
Yeah, and you can have it done in any size.
Right.
They just tell you the 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm not fighting with this. I just don't want to waste a big hunk.
Right.
So I want to make sure that I get it in the way I want it. Joe, can you move my camera up now, baby?
Oh, that's what she did. She scanned it and then printed it at that percentage that she wanted.
Yeah. And I saw it and it is just breathtaking. I love the way she made it come out. It is so stinking pretty.
And then she want to do the peacock and digital pattern. Is that
We-
the peacock body, the one with the body, or just the one with the head?
I think that's the one. See, if we're doing the peacock, but that's not going to be for a bit. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm asking. Sherry says she wants to do the peacock and digital pattern, but that's why I'm asking her if she's going to do the one with the body or the one with there's one with the head, just the head, and there's one with the body, you know, with his feathers all out.
Oh, that'll be pretty.
Yeah, I think that's the one that you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, fun.
Yeah, I think the one with the body, one with the head was all right, but yes,
Nope.
one with the body.
You didn't like that one.
Well, I mean, they're both all right, but if I'm going to do it, I want to see the whole animal, you know.
I get it. Totally.
It's like the cow, the back of the back legs is in a lighter color, and my cow's not going to be like that.
No, mine, I think I'm going to do the cow in a different way as well.
Right.
But I've never saw a cow like that. But it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We love fun.
Oh, I told my husband I need to go shopping tomorrow for the cow fabric.
You don't. It's going to be a little bit. You just want to start sewing it already. He's going to be like, woman, how many projects do you need? That'll be too funny.
Yeah, I know, Julie. Some of those pieces are tiny.
Could you imagine if, you know how you like these? Could you imagine if we did it into like, who was it? Sherry. How she drops hers down to almost minute.
Yeah.
I think it's fabulous that she could do it. I'm just like, no, that's not for me. Maybe in like 20 years,
Right.
but not yet. No.
Yeah, so Terry says, I think foundation paper piecing and regular quilting are like ice skating, and roller skating. Lean forward, no, lean back, different skill set for each.
I think so too.
Oh.
Absolutely. Like there's certain patterns like the legit kit. Oh my goodness, I would love to be able to do it, but it's going to take me a while to get to where I feel confident enough that I could do that. Now that's a Tiffany all the way. She is stunning and fabulous at it. That's not in my wheelhouse yet. Beth did it for a little while. I'm not sure how far she made it on it. But I'm just like, God love anybody that has done it yet, you know?
Sherry said, toes were not fun. Laugh out loud. 3 stitches to attach some of the pieces.
Could you imagine? I saw how little it was, and I'd be like, getting my tweezers.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one you would almost have to. There's no other way of putting it.
Yeah, so Terry says at 40%, I think I would get out the magic marker and color pieces in.
I couldn't do 40%. I would be like, what in the world? But that would be a challenge to see if you could do it, you know?
Yeah.
Is that the smallest one she has done yet
I
at 40? I don't know. That's
think so.
watch and see if she answers me, because I think that would be cool. I just not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, 75 and 40. Down from that.
Yeah, I could see doing the 75.
Yeah, and
because
Sherry,
these are at 100, you know?
and Sherry said the legit are just as easy, just more colors. Have a little Hummer pattern I'm going to do.
Oh, you're gonna have to tag me in that. I gotta see that. I think it'll be beautiful, you know?
So Terry, Sherry Fisher, I want to be in the foxhole with you. Patience.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. That's a good idea. So Terry, says Julie.
Oh, what was that? 80 and 81. I want to make sure that I'm not supposed to join those yet. Yeah, they are. I fear while I'm doing it, I'll make get these together in the right angles. That way they're done. So 80 is going to be pointed up this way. 81 is going to come in here, I believe. And it's really important that you watch the direction of what you're doing. And the easiest way is watch here. That is E and Z. So I've got it laying there.
Oh, how's your knitting coming along, Terry? So Terry. She'd picked up knitting again
Oh, awesome.
after not doing it for a long, long time.
So here, as always, I always put a pin in the corner and then I come over on the next section and put a pin because I want them to line up.
Right.
And then I just wiggle this in. Well, that slipped out. That way they're lined up. And then just wiggle it all in. Want to make sure everything's good and flat. And then make sure you're going to line up over here.
Yes, toenails would have to be applique on that. Laugh out loud would do toes solid pieces if make it smaller.
Oh, could you imagine? I envy anybody that can do that. When I saw that one that she posted and it was so tiny, I was like, you go, girl. Nope, not for me. And then just finger press it, make sure everything's lined up. Gonna take that bit off because we don't need it. And now's the time you're gonna want to pull out your fabric, your paper that's in here. That's the only paper you need to be pulling at this time.
Yeah, wasn't sure what Delia was trying to do. She hit the @ sign instead of the exclamation point.
Oh, it's okay. And then flip it over again.
But she saved it.
Did she?
Oh, Julie's. Oh, there you go.
These papers, if you're tight enough, it'll come out real easy.
Right.
And mine is coming out, but it's just my nails are in my way. So that's there, and we'll join that in a few minutes.
Terry, I told you you should let me know. I would have sent you needles.
Did she need needles?
Yeah.
Oh,
She'd bought in bamboo ones and she wanted smaller aluminum ones, and that's all I use. But I have 9-inch needles I would have sent her because I don't use them, especially for socks. I ought to package them up and send them over to you anyway.
you're welcome. So now moving on to the next section here, and I have my curry set aside, and I'm going to need it in 2 separate places. So I'm going to lay it on my lap. The first piece I'm going to put in is my zinc. So I'm going to line it up as close to right here as possible to get it in.
Can you hold your zinc up to the camera? I want to see it. See what color it is.
Whoops. Let me. It's gray and it looks like it's really woven in, kind of like what skin would be, I guess, would be the easiest way to put it.
Oh, okay.
And remember, your first piece is always belly down. And I wiggle in to make sure that I'm not wasting a whole lot, but it's in tight. And I always put a pin in it, stick a pin in it, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this off so it's out of my way. And set this over here in this little stack of all my goodness. My next piece is going to be my shiitake. So you have to know which colors are going to be what. So my shiitake is this here. So I want to make sure that I have that gray lined up and ready to go. So it's going to come down here like this and lay belly down. And that's why it's really important to have all of these little creases So before I do this line, I need to trim off this little bit of excess.
Teresa Louise says, what do you mean belly down?
Belly down, you want to be belly down. You want to put them belly dancing. That way, when this unfolds, you're going to be able to see what I'm doing here. You've got your first piece is face out. Your next piece is going to be belly in. Easiest way to put it, they're going to face each other, kind of like they're belly dancing. And then I just line it up and make sure that these are covered. And then I'm going to sew this line in. But before I do, I want to make sure I do my imaginary line here. I want to make sure that I've got this piece is covered all the way. I don't want it to slip. And like I said, I'm not using any glue or anything. I'm just going to hold it and flip it. And this is going to flip straight back here and it's going to come into this whole section. That's the goal. So let's see if I can make it happen. And you snip, and it's really important as you're building out all these little threads that you have hanging. When you pull your paper off, you're going to wish that you had trimmed those down and gotten rid of them. So now I'm going to fold this back and hope for the best.
You were asking, do you mean right sides together?
Yeah, belly dance. Let them belly dance.
Yeah, good there, Janine. You know, I know about those boo-boos.
What boo-boos?
Oh, she had a few boo-boos on her long arm. She got to fix, but
Oh, we've all had that happen. So now that whole piece is covered, and I'm going to do two things. The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to trim back here and get this section trimmed out. That way it's out of my way. And I love my add a quarter ruler.
yeah, especially the pink.
I love it because it's pink and it's driving you crazy.
Yes, Brenda, we got your mother-in-law in our prayer. She's in the hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart.
They've run all sorts of tests and have no idea what's wrong with her.
Oh, bless her heart.
I am working on a sweater. Let me see if I can find the pattern. I just had it here a wee bit ago. For Teresa McBrayer sent me a picture and asked me if I could make it for her. This is what I'm working on. Because I can crochet and read the chat.
Are you sure?
Yep. Teresa Louise says she's confused.
I do not want you confused. What are you confused on, sweetheart?
I think they're talking about belly dancing. I mean, you're
Put them
with the
together.
bellies together.
belly to belly. And it makes it easier.
No, very first piece, A piece is right side up.
I will show you in just a second. First piece is face out from your paper. Next piece is face down. So think of them kind of like belly together. Easiest way to do it.
It's crocheted, Terry. Yeah, she sent me a picture and asked me if I could make it. I said, sure, why not? I got a crochet hook. I can figure it out. Isn't that how that works?
But I hear.
That's why somebody else had to get my my yarn, because I thought I knew what I was doing. And I had the wrong yarn. Oh, Teresa Louise, don't feel that way.
What did she say?
He said, I wish I
Listen.
had real friends.
You are just something else. That is so not right on so many levels. She does have real friends all over America. And some of them out of the country. That girl, I'm telling you right now.
June said, hugs, Teresa Louise.
Yeah, she's just being silly girl tonight.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now
she
my edge here is just a little bit off. So I'm just going to straighten it up because I want it to come in nice. You don't have to.
Hello, guess who, Nancy? Howdy, howdy. Welcome to our elephant show.
The way you word that. Welcome to the Elephant Show, where all things are possible.
Yeah.
And there is going to be times that you come up short on a corner or you've miscut versus ripping it out. I would honestly say it's okay. I'm not a pro at this, but it's okay to say you messed up, pull it out, or add two at that corner. Felt like that slipped on me. I want to double check it before I go any further.
And Sherry Fisher said it's all pieced, but can go smaller on the pattern except for toes. Would be easier as solid pieces than add toenails afterward. Trunk is easier than toes at this size.
I bet it is. I can't imagine how she's done it. I'm being honest. I don't have a clue.
I don't know how I knew that, Teresa, but I knew that meant who, not how. My sewing friends are all cyber friends. No one in my circle of friends sews, nor do they want to
Who's saying that?
my fabric hauls. She says she thinks she'll just read the instructions.
Who?
Teresa Louise.
God love her. What does she not understand?
The bellies together.
Oh my God. Let me show you. This is so funny. Let me show you. Your first piece. Let me get a piece here.
Right sides together.
All right, watch.
Together.
Let me do this. Let me pull this one because I've already got a part. I'm
Bellies
going to use this as an example, Teresa Louise. This is where your sew page. This is the page where your fabric's going to build out. So what you need to do, your first piece has to face up. So this one here, I'm going to confuse her and I don't mean to. This one here has to go like this. And you're going to put it like this so that it's facing out. Then say I want to add the next piece is going to be, imagine this is cut off. You got to use your imagination here because I don't want to ruin this just to show you. But say I'm adding this piece and there's numbers here. You're going to want to put this down like this and you're going to use your sew line and then this is going to fold over. And then your next piece, it would be like this, and you're just going to fold over your next color. And that's how you're going to be sewing on the lines. Belly up. I am having a light bulb moment. Your first piece needs to face out like this. You can say it's belly up, belly out, whatever. The sew side where you're going to be sewing, your fabric has got to face up, like face out. Then everywhere you build on this piece, it's going to be belly down, face down. First piece is up, the rest of them is down, all the way through it. Easiest way to explain it. And if that girl got confused, that's, oh, wrong side of, yes, baby girl, wrong side of the paper. Absolutely the wrong side, lovey.
Brenda Foley, I've made quite a more sweaters for my husband than I've made for myself. But yes, I love hand knit sweaters. This one's crochet because that's what the pattern was. And she said, Donna, Teresa Louise doesn't know what you mean when you talk bellies. Laugh out loud.
I know she does.
And so good. So thanks, Julie. The belly term was confusing me. Been sewing 50 years, never heard that. I was wondering if it was
Who
a
said that?
foundation paper piecing thing.
Who said that?
So gotta sew.
So gotta say, that's the way I've learned it. It's bellies together.
And hi, Sue Allen. She said hi to everybody. And Teresa Louise, belly up, fabric up. I'm having a light bulb moment. And Janine says, I'm adding this piece.
Well, that's the way she goes.
Oh, wrong side on the paper.
Yes. You get it now, babe.
Teresa Louise said that. Yes, it is very pretty fabric, isn't it, Delia?
And I have a wee little tidbit here.
Oh, belly up in regular life is not good. No, it's not. So, Terry.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. And Sherry Fisher, yep. Why I use glue stick, put glue on wrong side of fabric, stick to first section where we're supposed to piece. Yep. I'm
Make-
being a pain in the, I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Focus.
Funky tonight. Teresa Louise.
No, she's not. She's our love. We
And
just love her.
Sherry Fisher, after that, always right sides together.
Yep. First piece.
Now I get to this is so confusing. I think I will need to start with something very small to
Who
start.
said that?
June Hansen.
Oh my gosh, June. No way, babe. No way. You got
Actually-
this.
Right. Actually, this is a good thing.
Yeah. You could start with a flower or anything, really, but this is the way to do it.
Oh, hi, Sean. He
Hi,
said
Sean.
heading to bed, but wanted to say hi to all my mates. Hey, Sean.
Thanks for slipping in. He's like, he snuck in on us.
Yeah, it sure did. Love grunge. Didn't have purple for mine. Laugh out loud.
Who was that?
Sherry Fisher.
Oh. Yeah, I had a little tidbit here. I wasn't pleased with that corner, so I went ahead and added a little piece. It's going to be lost in the seam allowance, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If I know it's in the seam, I will add that little dab.
Hello, Sean. He said hi to Susan and Donna. And
Hello, Sean.
thumbs up would be greatly appreciated too, folks. Just saying. I gotta head to bed too if I'm gonna be able to watch Sean and his guest tomorrow morning. Nighty night, Janine.
Good night, honey.
Yeah, he does that too early for me. I'm rolling over.
Does he? Do you just roll over and go back to sleep?
Yeah, or laying in bed watching videos on my phone.
Do you really?
Yeah. I'm not an early riser. I can't help it.
Oh, I definitely am.
Well, most of my jobs were, that's why I don't have any trouble staying up at night. Most of my jobs were where I worked into the night
Oh, okay.
so that I was home with my kids during the day. And my sister always lived close by to come over and watch them for me. while they slept. I lived on very little sleep back then, so I'm catching up now.
Are you? Sounds like me. I don't sleep a lot. As Joe, I drive him crazy with no sleep.
I'm catching up on all that missed sleep. That's how my husband is. I don't, but he takes a nap every day though. I can't do that. If I take a nap, I can't sleep at night.
Yeah, right now I feel like my system's out of whack because I never nap, and I
Right.
sure did today.
Yeah. That's what you do when you don't feel good. You gotta,
When you feel like something's off, you know?
yeah, gotta get some extra Z's in.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about the only time I do take a nap is when I don't feel good.
Now that piece is in, and we're just gonna do the same thing here. Just fold it down and zip it out. Where's Sandra K? Is she still with us? Wanted to ask her a question.
No, I haven't seen her chat since first started.
Oh, doggone it. Yeah, I had a question for her. Just make sure that when you're doing this, you're pulling that out of your seam, and it'll make it lay so much flatter. But before you do that, make sure you've got your seam in exactly where it is needed, so it'll lay flat for you. Give it a little pressing.
Yeah, but we do watch the replay, Sean.
Yeah, tomorrow's guest for Sean is Courtney over at Pieces Loving Quilting.
Yeah.
So make sure that you guys are up in the morning and you get to have a listen at what all goodness they're going to be talking about. I don't know if they're doing projects or not, but that'd be cool to slip over and show some love. Now, as Tucker was talking about in the last time he was with us, there's these two parts. They're both the same color. Both of them is curry. I'm going to show you the way that I did it the first time. And then the second way I'm doing it is the way that Tucker has showed it. Or I'll just tell you about it because it makes good sense to me. All he did was seriously just sewed straight down the seam to secure it on the paper. The directions say, cut this cloth in half, and then you're going to unfold it, and then you're going to have the bulk there. If they're the same, cut this the same length that you need. It doesn't make good sense to do it any other way. So if that makes sense for you, you're just going to back tack it to secure it in.
Sean, what's Amanda's channel name? Mom Knits? I know
Yep.
I watch it, but I can't think of
Dog
it.
Mom Who Knits.
Yeah. See, I even knew her name.
Yep. Now this is the way that Tucker had showed us, but you're going to have your seam line here. Now, if that doesn't bother you, that's okay. And that's going to secure it to your paper. I know I'm going to go back and pull that out because that is going to bother me. But everybody does them different. This is mine. This is the way that I'm doing it. And like I said, you do your own method, what works best for you. So I know this is going to be my part A, and it's facing out already. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself that add a quarter, and you make your decision on how you want to do it. Silly as it may seem, I'm going to just flip this over, and I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm just going to sew it in.
Question, Donna.
Yep.
So Gotta Sew wants to know how or where did you learn FPP, Donna? And have you been doing it long time? That pattern seems pretty complex.
I've only been sewing since 2020, and I've learned a lot of my sewing techniques from Yvette Renee. And then Courtney over Pieces, Love and Quilting. But most of what I've learned along the way has been from Beth over at Goody Goods. Both fabulous teachers. You learn a little bit of something from each along the way. And this hides that seam line. You're still going to have your little line, but this all blends in. So you have one face up, one face down. Now Teresa Louise will understand. Face up, belly down, flip it over, and you sew your line. And all you're going to do is unfold it, and you've got that piece done. I like the way this looks, but everybody has their own technique. So I'm going to take this one here, just flip it over and trim it in. And then I'm going to have Jack out for a second because I wanted to show you the different ways of doing it. And I knew I would have a date with Jack, and I should have opened that seam up just a tad, so it would have been an easier date. But I'm okay with it because that's how I'm going to be able to show you what works and what doesn't work.
Is that blue or gray?
This here,
Yeah.
it's a grungy blue. It's got all kinds of, it's just a blunt, like, it looks like wore out denim per se. You
Oh,
see how it's got this?
Yeah.
So I'm going to set this aside for just a second and have a date. So let's talk. Joe, do you want to bring me up? He's like, why did you do that? But all you do is just rip it out. You're not hurting your paper. And if you do it slow and steady, if you do rip your paper, use any kind of paper tape. I use my seam guide tape. If I've got a rip and I know it's not going to adhere to the pattern, I use washi tape. But 9 times out of 10, it is my seam guide.
Good night, Sean.
Good night, Sean. Have a good night's rest.
He's got to go before he oversleeps, which would be bad, he said.
Yeah, at least he gave me a couple minutes of his time.
So, Donna, is this your first or second FPP?
No, I've done more.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's
just getting into the animals more.
right. That's what Trace always thought. So,
Yeah, this is more, I'm getting more into doing the larger animals. I'm loving the FPP. I've done smaller ones. But the larger ones, I like the challenge of it. And it's neat to see how they come together. Would I do this at 40%? Nope. No way. Nope, not going to happen.
I would like to do it at 75. That sounds, and then I would think about and so Terry wants to know how Mr. Joe is holding up. Well, she said Joe, the tech guy.
Joe's doing well. Haven't drove him batty yet. But he says that's pretty close there tonight. No.
Right. I found that out. Somebody asked me about that, Sherry, the washi tape. So I got my little iron out and I ironed over it and stuff. And it's washi tape is great.
The washi tape is definitely the way to go.
But this Scotch tape will melt on your iron. Ask me
Yeah.
how I know.
I don't want to know. You should not ever use Scotch tape on these patterns. They will melt.
Well, remember he
So-
was telling me when you did a big piece and you had to do half of it and do half of it and
Mhm.
tape them together. Well,
Yeah.
that was handy. I had
Oh,
Scotch tape, so I taped the pattern.
yeah.
Well, then when I ironed it, it didn't come out so well.
I bet it melted and smelled pretty.
Yeah, it sure did.
God love you. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't do as Susan does. Do as I tell you.
Okay. Oh, she
Oh,
meant
you-
the second large animal. It's Teresa. What? Sorry.
Yes, this is the second time I've done the large animals.
Ooh, that would be nice. A Bernese
What?
Mountain Dog head, and did it in
Yes.
2020.
Belly side is right side of fabric. Yep.
Oh, So Gotta Sew has a question.
Okay.
One more time to clarify from my late night brain. Is the belly side the right side of the fabric? Yes.
Yep. Easiest way to explain it like this. Okay, here is your fabric. So your first piece is going to face up. It's going to face away from the paper, the back to the paper, if that makes sense. Then the next piece that you're joining, you're going to put them belly together like this. I know it sounds silly to say it, but they're belly dancing in there. They're having a good old time. So then you just sew your line, open it up, and you're going to press it out. Now, like right here, this is going to be lost in my seam where I should have shifted my pattern down, but I'm okay with adding a piece because it's not, I can live with it. So right here, I'm just going to add this wee little piece in because I'm not going to lose sleep. That's going to be lost in my seam. And it doesn't deem me tearing that whole section apart to just put that little tidbit in that's going to be lost. So as others have told me, learn what you can live with. And honestly, when this is all trimmed in, I can live with it. And no one will ever know it's in the seam allowance.
Exactly.
I love the way that these come together when you're FPP in. The seams are so crisp. Everything comes out so sharp and so nice in your points. I'm really addicted to FPP per se. I find it hard sometimes. I still do my regular paper, my regular piecing, but my preference for this season of life right now, I guess, is honestly the FPP. I like the way it gives you everything all in one, and it looks so nice. So that is all together. So now I need to lay this out, move my iron out the way, and I'll join this couple pieces over to the shank ends. I don't even know what time. Well, let me see. It's 11:15. I've got a few more minutes. I don't want to detain anyone. Let me get these moved out of the way here. And then we'll get these pieces joined together. So according to the pattern, you're going to come down and read 82, 83, and 84. So I need to get 82, 83. So I'm going to join 83 and 84. And here is 80. 83 is here.
No, you're adding them tonight too.
I'm just putting this section together. I'm not adding them.
Oh,
That you have to build the section together.
right.
So when you're doing this, the easiest way that I have found to do it is put your pin in your corner, come over on this side and put your pin in the corner. That way, you know, you're lined up straight from the beginning. And since I did not glue to my paper, I honestly am going to pin right here just for a couple minutes till I zip that in. And I want to double check right here and make sure everything's lined up. It's just an extra layer of protection or caution per se. And I back tack where these are joining in because I know it's right and it's okay. Pull the pin out. and just go slow. Pull the pin out and just keep going slow. Going to open this up and you're going to see how nice that comes together. And it's lined up end to end. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my paper. Yes, in this case, belly up is good. Belly up is good in this case. Quilters in their positively. Okay, thanks. I was just curious why you didn't say right side of the fabric since that's standard terminology. I got you down. So gotta sew, that's just the way that I've learned. And I'm sorry if it's not the way you've understood it, but that's just what I've learned.
And hi, Cindy Wall. She said, don't forget the thumbs up.
Thank you, Cindy.
The pug pattern with all the faces. Can't wait to get to those. Oh, wow.
What is it?
Oh, because she lives in PA. Who lives in PA?
Yeah, PA's not bad.
Yeah, Donna lives in Maryland.
I'm Maryland. Susan's Delaware.
Yeah.
So let's see where this PA lady's from. Who?
It's Donna lingo. Gotta go with it.
Hey, learn to love me or leave me.
Right.
I'm okay either way.
Yeah, I'm in lower, slower Delaware.
Lower, slower. God love you.
Lower, slower. That's what they call it. Lower, slower
I
Delaware.
never heard tell of it. And they say my terminology. We both need help.
Shelley says West Virginia here. Or WB. I guess that is West Virginia.
Yeah,
Right?
she is West Virginia.
Yeah. And Sherry Fisher says she's in Michigan.
Well,
And
what part of Michigan?
Delia's in Michigan.
Yeah, just see how close the kids are. That's what I just said. She said, we're in Michigan.
Lower, slower. I'm gonna cry, said so Terry.
What?
Lower, slower. She said, I'm gonna cry, so Terry. Oh, Portland, Oregon. Cindy Wall is that. Wow.
I like to hear where everyone's from. I think it's cool. Yeah, just drop the state you're in. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Kentucky, here, guess you, Nancy. I'm Maryland. I'll speak for Joe. He's Maryland too.
Yeah, Mr. Deuce, Maryland. Donna's Maryland.
British Columbia, Kelly Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
Southeastern Fairhaven, between Detroit and Port Huron.
Huron.
Huron. I'm in a city that never sleeps, probably why I'm insomniac.
She's in New York.
Yep.
Or Long Island. Hello, Terry. Well, I guess
I'm
that's,
in Arizona, North Carolina.
I guess that's part of New York, I think.
Yeah.
Yuma, Arizona, Sue Allen. North Carolina is Teresa Lynch. And Julie Smith is South Carolina.
Sorry, I don't know if you were talking about the fabric or the paper when you said belly up.
No.
Teresa Louise, we'll talk offline, my friends. I wasn't talking about what we're doing to Joe. A poor guy.
And Lorraine is Lorraine Young's in Massachusetts. So Terry, New York. Donna Dixon, Alabama. And Dora Lindell is Colorado. Oh yeah. I don't know why. I always think of Long Island as a state in itself. I don't know why. I have no idea. That's and Salem, Oregon is Mary G. Because you think it is, Long Island. Sounds like a place by itself.
Sounds like a drink. Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, yeah, they have an iced tea called Long Island, and they don't drink too many of those. Let me tell you, they got several liquors in them.
So what are you saying?
Well, I would be under the table after 2 of them. That's what I'm saying. Donna is going to give you the Donna dictionary, Teresa Louise. Long, and she says Long Island iced tea. So Terry.
Long Island.
And Manitoba, Canada. Oh, I said it right. Is S. Taylor. Too many, can you make it through one? Exactly. One Long Island iced tea. And Kelly Cruises, Crafts, and Quilts. I used to drink those back in the day. How many could you drink, Kelly?
I don't even want to know.
Craft on and so forth. Hello, ladies, from Pam Weber in Weatherford, Texas. Wow. Well, hello, Pam from Weatherford, Texas. S. Taylor. Perfect. Thumbs up. And hi, S. Taylor. I'm from BC. Says Kelly. And Tracy Louise. Laugh out loud, Terry. I think she has more planned than that.
You never know. So the only thing left tonight to do is get this pinned in, and I'll seam this in the morning. My granddaughter seems to have decided that I'm going to be doing a little late night sewing for her. So with that being said, all I have to do is this one seam, and the next time you see it, it'll be hanging on my wall. And it's getting quite late. Joe, can you put me up for a minute, hon?
Okay, and Brenda Foley's in
Thanks, sweetheart.
Kentucky. And there was a question wanting to ask you if you could go over the list of your foundation paper piece plans. What all you're planning
Where
on.
is that at? Oh, I've got quite a bit.
Yeah, for the next ones that you're gonna do.
Okay, this is going to be my March project. And I promise you over the weekend, I will take and mark each one. If you're interested in sewing this with Tucker and I've pinned the pattern on Amazon up at the top. And we'll be able to go ahead on, if you haven't already gotten it, and order it. So that's going to be fun. It doesn't have a whole lot of, it's going to be 60 by 75. So it's just going to be a fun sew. This one, I have not even opened yet to see how we're going to break this one down. I can show you the ones that we have already got, but I do not. This is my sewing project my granddaughter just gave me. So no sleep tonight until I get my work done, she says. Susan will tell you she came in and laid down what all she needs done, and it has to be tonight. And she started laughing just like that. There she goes.
So
Let me
Terry
get these in order.
told Teresa Louise to brace herself because it sounds like she's getting called to the principal's office.
Who is?
Her, Teresa Louise, because of you told her that you would talk offline.
I just love her. No. She's my bonus sister. She can whoop me. She knows how to use a gun and kill an elk. I'm not going to make her mad. Okay, we've got the wolf lined up. We're going to be doing the peacock. We're going to be doing the cheetah. We're going to be doing the cow. We've already done the lion. The next one is the tiger. And then we've got a couple fun sews. I'm going to be doing this. Let me see. I'm trying to see which one I told the girls I would do with them. I'm going to be doing this with my some friends offline. And then this one is going to be another sew that we're going to be doing. So I've got quite a lineup to finish out the year. finish out the year, and here it is January. I just cracked myself up. The goal is I'm going to be able to walk you through all of this goodness in a year's time. So that's what we've got lined up, allowing approximately 8 weeks to do the project. But like when we're getting ready to finish this one up, why we're waiting, because there's going to be a stagnant week on this project. So while we're doing that, we're going to be announcing what the next one is. The giraffe is in my other bin because I've already got the fabric pulled for that. That's why I didn't mention the giraffe. We are doing the giraffe. And I believe the giraffe is after, I'm going to give you the dates. I don't want to sit here and give you locked in dates. I've got them in my calendar and they coincide with when Tucker's going to be available. So I will get that posted on my community tab, and I'll also have it over in my Facebook group. I'll have Joe drop that into all the description boxes for, he's sitting here shaking his head at me, for any FPPs that I'm doing. If you check the description box, you'll be able to see the lineups of what's coming, and you'll see the Amazon link. So you'll be able to order if you would like to sew along with us. So with all of that being said, I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight. Susan, thank you so much for sitting here with me tonight. Next time you see everything, Susan's got hers almost done, or should I say done. But we didn't want to show it until it was all in its completion. So we're at the end of the night, Susan. Would you like to go ahead and show it?
Oh, I thought you told me that.
I didn't want you to show it until we were ready tonight.
Okay.
So she can show it now and go ahead and post it. I wanted to get through tonight. Are you going to do the So Powerful purses, and are you going to Africa since you've been invited by the organizers? My husband and I talked about it. I am doing the So Powerful purses, but we have opted, with my health going on, and we're both coming out of a back-to-back COVID situation, we do not feel, and neither does our doctor, that it's a good idea for me to go out of the country at this time with my immune system not being what it should be. So Joe and I have had some heart-to-hearts. We will be doing the So Powerful purses along with Project Dress a Girl, but we're going to stay stateside. And if the opportunity should afford itself next year, then if I'm asked, then we'll re-entertain that. It's just an honor and a privilege to be invited. So I would love to go.
Does
So
it go this way or this way?
which is your outside fabric?
Oh, no.
You have to know what your background fabric is.
I think that's this.
You think?
I don't know. I just
Let
know
me
it's
see your
80.
elephant's feet.
This is 83.
Okay, then that is your outside piece. Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just throwing the pieces together. I'm just sewing what Donna tells me to.
Yeah, that I love you. So, Susan, it's beautiful, babe. So that is her outside fabric. Oh my God, late at night sews with you is crazy, and I love you.
I know that. Well,
For
this
sharing this has been fun and enjoyable, and I'm still thinking about all of this. June, you would have a blast. Yes, that way.
is my first. This is my first foundation paper piece, guys. So
And it looks good, and you're doing great. So you guys have a great night. God bless you, and we'll see you back for another part of this. It'll be week 4 next Friday night at 10 o'clock. Thank you all for joining us, and I'll see you back Monday night when Teresa Louise is my guest on the channel, and we're going to be sewing up Project Dress a Girl dresses. So that's going to be a fun sew. I always love it when my bonus sister from way out west comes over and hangs out with me. Bye, guys. Take care.
toodles.